Hi everybody, welcome back to Cardano After Dark. I'm Patrick and I'm here to present you the results for the milestone 2 of the PoC Hydra PoC. In the previous milestone, we presented a video where we showed you how to use our infrastructure to create different topologies of networks with a Cardano node and Hydra nodes. In this PoC, in this milestone, we are going to focus on a specific topology, a local test with one Cardano node, two Hydra nodes, and then implement a specific cryptographic transaction on top of using the Hydra nodes, the network made by the Hydra nodes. In this case, we are going to use we are going to perform a group encryption decryption using the XOR cryptography. We are not using like a production ready algorithm because we prefer to keep it simple, even if it's not production ready. Will be very simple to follow, also to understand the algorithm, and also because we do have proprietary encryption and decryption algorithms that are pluggable in this architecture that we don't want to share at the moment. So said, what we are going to see is a Cardano node that we are running in the same way that we saw in the previous milestone. And then we have two Hydra nodes for Alice and Bob. So this is one Hydra node, this is the other Hydra node. And then we will be running two applications on top of the two different Hydra nodes. I should not really tell, but the setup was done following the same document. So you need to set up a funding wallet, fund that wallet with Cardano preprod through testnet faucet, create the demo credentials for Alice and Bob, make the Hydra keys for Hydra node A and B, and then run the fund demo to transfer the funds to the proper wallets. And at this point, you can basically start executing the protocol. If you still have some issue at this point, maybe you want to use the Helios wallet creator and backup manager, where you need to create a wallet with a backup for Alice and one also for Bob. And then at this point, we can just run the application. In this demo, I'm just showing you how to run the application. So the application will be done by these two clients, plus we use an extra tool to see what are the messages sent through the Hydra nodes. So let's start npm message receiver, and let's start the XOR crypto demo. So here we select the first Helios wallet, that is Alice. And then here we do the same, and we select the other wallet that represents Bob. At this point, you remember we have two clients and they are over a Hydra network. Now we want to establish a cryptographic group such that we can send encrypted data and then decrypt data on the other side. The group is made by two participants, and we want that the encrypting and decrypting takes like exactly two partial encryption decryption keys. So we create a threshold encryption group with a threshold of 2, number of messages needed to encrypt and decrypt, and a total of 2 participants. Alice, as a group creator, doesn't need to perform anything else. Bob needs to join the group. And with this, is going to send back an agreement performing a cryptographic exchange such that we have both the partial encryption and decryption key agreement. Now we see that the encryption, the agreement is sent through the channel, And we see that the two clients know, say, GLCTMF is Alice, and HG7 blah blah is Bob. At this point, we are in our cryptographic group, so we can start sending messages. This case will be very simple. We just send a message. So let's say that Alice wants to say encrypt. I think, yes, encrypt. Hi from Alice. Then what happens here is that Bob, through Hydra, first receives the encrypted message, then performs the partial decryption with the local key, and then shares the partial decryption with the group. And at the very end, is able to reconstruct the message after receiving the partial decryption from GLCTMF, which is Alice, and this is the message. What's going on the channel is basically that you see that first the encrypted data is sent. Yes, that's a partial. First, the encryption message is sent. Let me find the partial encryption. Okay. This is actually the partial decryption, not the encrypted message. So I'm looking here. That's the partial decryption from the other participant. And at this point, Bob already has both the partial decryption, so he can decrypt. I wanted to show you not only the two partial decryption from Alice and Bob, but also the message sent. Yes, and this is like we call it in-game because we start from gaming, but this is how we first send the encrypted message from Alice, GLCTMF, to Bob. So this is the encrypted message, the encrypted data. And then we sent the partial decryption from Alice. And then Bob applies his own partial decryption. And when he has both the partial decryption, then he can reconstruct the message. And then you can see the transaction that went through the Hydra node. Now at this point, with this milestone, we enabled the scenario where we have participants in a group that can exchange cryptographic data, and we can, with this system of the partial encryption and decryption, perform operation, even complex operation. For now, we do this on cards. So for instance, let's say you are playing poker and you want to have private and public cards. Well, the cards are private when you don't share your partial decryption key for a card. And the cards are public when everybody is sharing the partial decryption key of a card. So doing, you can start implementing complex applications with like smart contracts that are really, really meaningful in the scenario where we are going with Cardano, where the application will start being more and more complex. So that was more or less all that I needed to present. I hope you enjoyed this short video. For all the details, you can check the markdown file that we were showing here. So this is the actual article. I'm just showing you the preview. You can read a little bit more about threshold cryptography, how we perform the distributed key generation, what is the security model. You should know that XOR-based encryption is not good for production. We already have some production-ready algorithm that we are not ready to share at the moment. And yeah, these are a little bit of instruction for the interactive demo. You see that we created a group, we joined, we encrypted the messages, and you can do more. You can display the current group and other stuff. The information is that we provided is pretty extensive. All the contents are available in the repository, and mostly in the source folder, you'll see the XOR crypto demo here. That is what we just ran. We, of course, implemented also other applications, but that will be for later maybe. Thanks for your attention. It's a blast working with the Cardano ecosystem. Thanks and bye.